Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of the DAN Show, and welcome to my latest 2022 NFL preview video. Today, I'm breaking down the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, if you're new to this channel, this is your first time here, and you like football, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the growing community of football junkies and fans of all 32 NFL teams. Now, here's how my breakdown videos work. First, I start off with 3 things I like about the Chargers. Then I give you 3 things I don't like. Then I'll break down the schedule, go over to the yearly win total odds, and at the end, I review if I'm going to put action down on the Los Angeles Chargers. So let's kick this off. 3 things I like about the Los Angeles Chargers. First thing I like about the Chargers is really obvious. It's Justin Herbert, and his first 2 years in the NFL rival anyone in NFL history. It's really unfair. You go from Phillip Rivers, a future Hall of Fame quarterback, to Justin Herbert, who after his first 2 years looks like another future Hall of Fame quarterback. And this goes hand in hand with the second thing I like about the Chargers, and that is the skill position talent surrounding Herbert. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I have a huge man crush on Keenan Allen. I think this is a top 10 wide receiver, maybe even top 5. And then on the other side, you got Mike Williams, who plays Robin to Keenan Allen's Batman, but is a legit number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. Then you also have Austin Eckler, who I called a magician because he magically made himself disappear from all the NFL Pro Bowl ballots. How do you score 20 touchdowns in LA and not make the Pro Bowl? But this is one of my favorite players in the NFL. How he didn't make a Pro Bowl is really a big mystery. Jared Cook, the Chargers tight end, he'll be replaced by Gerald Everett. Both these guys have very similar skill set. Everett's 10 years younger. By the way, both these players had exactly 48 catches and 4 touchdowns last year, so there's not going to be a drop-off in the tight end position. Bottom line, I haven't gone through and ranked all 32 skill position groups, but if I did, the Chargers easily have a top 10 skill position group, maybe even top 5. Now, the third thing I like about the Chargers is their off-season aggressiveness. Now, everybody knows about the Khalil Mack trade and signing J.C. Jackson, but if you look at the Our Lads depth chart, they have all new starters on the defensive line they signed this offseason. Plus, they also have Kyle Van Noy, who's going to play quite a bit, and Bryce Callahan, who's probably going to be the starting nickel corner. Now, ESPN has Jerry Tillery starting at one of the defensive line positions. Our Lads doesn't. Now, the Chargers declined to pick up his 5th-year option, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they use him, or if they decide to, move on from him before the season starts. And I've seen that happen before, but if you're just using Our Lads and Tillery doesn't start in base nickel packages, which the Chargers are probably going to use more than half the time. You have 6 new starters, and I'm not even counting Drew Tranquill, who replaces Kazir White. Drew Tranquill is now going to be a full-time starter instead of being just a part-time starter as he was the previous couple of years with the Chargers organization. Now, if Tillery starts, you get 5 new starters in base nickel, and then 4 when you go to that standard 3-4. Now, the Chargers defense was a weak spot last year. I mean, the offense was lights out, but I'm not saying that all the changes they made this offseason is going to work, but I love the fact that an organization saw a weakness and addressed it, and that they were very aggressive in addressing the weakness of the team, which unfortunately is the whole defense. So just to recap the 3 things I like about the Chargers: I like Justin Herbert, I like his skill position talent, and I like how aggressive the Chargers were this offseason. Now, 3 things I don't like about the Los Angeles Chargers. The first thing I don't like is the high expectations, not only from Chargers fans, but the general public and the gambling community. I attached a screenshot of the Caesar Sportsbook app, and if you notice, the Chargers are the 6th most likely or most favored team to win the Super Bowl. The other 5 teams all made the playoffs last year, not the Chargers. Now, most teams that don't make the playoffs the year before, the goal is either to make the playoffs or try to win the division, but not the Chargers. The expectations are to make the Super Bowl, even though they weren't even a playoff team last year. Now, when I read off the other two things I don't like, it's in a direct correlation to the Chargers being a team that has Super Bowl expectations. Second thing I don't like about the Chargers is the right tackle position. Now, in 2020, they signed Brian Bulaga to a 3-year, $30 million deal. Now, he missed several games in 2020 and only played in the season opener before he suffered a season-ending injury and was released in March. So instead of addressing the right tackle position in free agency or the draft, they re-signed their swing tackle, Storm Norton, who basically replaced him and started the majority of the season at right tackle. But what they're doing is they have a third-round draft pick, Trey Pipkins, that they drafted in 2019. He's been very disappointing the first 3 years, but that's going to be the guy that they're going to use as a starting right tackle. Now, when you have a player whose first 3 years, he's really disappointing, but magically fourth year, he's going to develop and become the starter, I think that's a really big risk. Even if it pans out, it's still a big risk, especially for a team with Super Bowl aspirations. The problem is that in the AFC West, all three opponents have at least one Pro Bowl pass rusher, and all three teams added to their defensive lines this year, or in Denver's case, they added outside linebackers with Randy Gregory in free agency, and they drafted former OU Sooner Nick Benito in the second round. The AFC West doesn't have great defenses, but they do have a lot of pass rushers, so the right tackle position better be fixed. Speaking of defense, the third thing I don't like about the Chargers is their defense. Now, I like how the Chargers were aggressive in fixing their defense via free agency, but I do see a few problems. First off, they got rid of Kazir White and Uchenna Nwasu. I apologize, I'm probably butchering that name. Now, White led the team in tackles with 144. That was 8th overall in the NFL, and the Chargers decided this was a cap casualty. Well, he signed with the Eagles on a 1-year, $5 million deal. I have a hard time believing the Chargers really couldn't match that. Now, last year, Kenneth Murray and Drew Tranquill both missed a lot of time due to injuries. And for all the free agent acquisitions they made this year, they didn't add a linebacker despite both starters missing significant time in 2021 due to injuries. Nwasu didn't miss any time with injuries last year, but his replacement, Khalil Mack, missed over half the season. Plus, Nwasu is 25, where Khalil Mack turns 32 in February. Joey Bosa and Derwin James have always had injury issues, so health's going to be a big issue with the Chargers defense in 2022. You get two dependable starters replaced with non-dependable starters, and even if the Chargers defense stays fully healthy, and I can promise you this is not going to happen, but even if they do stay fully healthy, how fast can all these new acquisitions get on the same page? The AFC West has a lot of good offenses, so getting these guys on the same page is going to be a big problem. So there's three issues I see. Number one, health. All right, a lot of these players missed a lot of time due to injuries. Getting everybody on the same page and getting everybody on the same page fast. And then third thing is massive improvement. This defense has to take a massive step forward. They were one of the bottom 5 defenses in the National Football League last year, so you have to make a big jump. So to recap, there's 3 things I don't like about the Chargers. I don't like the high expectations, the right tackle position, and their defense. Now let's take a look at the Chargers schedule. I'm going to go over the yearly win total odds, and then I'm going to reveal if I'm going to put action down on the Chargers. First off, this schedule is very favorable. Last year, the Chargers were 3-3 in the division, so let's just assume the same thing, and let's cross out the division opponents. Take a look at the games before the bye. These are 2 winnable home games and 2 very winnable road games, including Cleveland week 5 before Deshaun Watson comes back from suspension. I could easily see the Chargers going 3-1, maybe even 4-0 here. And then you get your bye week 8. Now, Atlanta does not have a bye, so I think that's a big advantage for the Chargers. Then after that, you get 2 road games against playoff teams from 2021. Now, I'm going to circle these 2 games, and I'll come back to them later. The final 3 games in December, you get 2 at home before a Monday night game at Indianapolis. I really think the Chargers need to win at least 2 games here. And the reason why is that I think week 17 is going to be a loss. Now, if you do your math here, I mentioned 3-3 in the division, so that's 3 wins. 3 wins before the bye. I like week 9 at Atlanta to be a win, and then 2 wins in December. This equals 9 with those before mentioned 2 road games in November I have circled. Now, the yearly win total odds is 10 at Caesars, 9.5 with Barstool. And Barstool's probably going to go to 10 very soon because the number is really crazy high. And right now, Caesars has over 10 wins at negative 130, which means you have to wager $130 to win 100. And so if you're betting over on the Chargers, you need at least one of these road games in November to be a win. Now, if you're betting under, you really want 2 losses here. And personally, I really like under 10 at plus 110 that Caesars has. So a $100 wager wins me $110, and that would be my bet. Now, as of right now, I haven't fully committed to putting action down on under 10 for the Chargers, but I'm paying really close attention to that Chargers injury report. And if this does jump up to 10.5, I'm going to be all over it. Now, this is my opinion. This is what I think. I really want to hear from you. What do you think? Drop a comment below and let's talk football. Now, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like the video, give me the thumbs up, and ring the bell. That way you're notified every time I come out with a new video. Tomorrow, I'm going to break down the New Orleans Saints. So I will see you tomorrow.